Hello, this is Gabriel Keys from CrashDiet, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
Hey, Gabriel, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. I'm Bruce. That's my partner.
Thank you.
Howdy.
I'm Chris. How are you guys doing?
I love the fucking shirt. Striper fan from like 83.
Yeah, they're the best.
Love
Man,
it, love it,
I
love it.
I woke up this morning and I was going over the our notes for the podcast recordings today, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna hit play on this track, see what it's like. And then I got my ass fucking kicked, and I became an instant fan of the band. So you guys look pretty young to be playing glam metal. How the hell did you get into glam metal, first of all? And second of all, thank you for getting into glam metal.
Yes.
You can start with that one. Mr. Sweet.
Well, we've been around for 20 years,
Yes.
almost.
Really?
Not
Believe
me,
it or
though.
not. Not the little boy there. But we basically started out when this sleaze scene was kind of dead. There was not much to listen to in 2002.
Right.
Yeah.
So we went all in and started like putting on the makeup and teasing our hair and hitting the town, just showing our style to everyone. And we kind of started a small movement in Stockholm, and just a year later we got signed by a major label.
So I'm gonna jump
crazy.
in. I'm gonna jump in. I'm a massive glam metal fan. And I grew up in the or whatever you call it, sleaze, glam, whatever. Grew up in the '80s. Spent a lot of time in LA on the Sunset Strip. Grew up in that scene, and you're right. It died, I think, when Kurt Cobain and all that bullshit with flannel shirts, and not giving a shit about what he. Sorry, I'm on a rant here, but I think. What you guys did, Resurrecting, it was absolutely amazing. In fact, I'm working on a film right now called Hair Metal Revival, and everybody in it,
Oh, really?
yeah, everybody in it is giving nods to you guys as like, the catalyst that brought this whole scene back. And it's pretty amazing to even be talking to you, but I want to thank you for the great music. But how do you think it is being received now? Because it's still kind of underground, right?
Yeah. Sort of, yeah.
I mean, I think when Motley Crue did their like second reunion or whatever in 2004, I think, the glam thing became like a household thing almost. And I think it's been that way. I mean, Motley Crue are huge now, and we're kind of just hanging along with it.
Yeah.
Well, your singer's a lot better. Ooh. Sorry.
But
Younger.
I think you guys, you've resurrected it, but you've created, and the whole epicenter now is in those Scandinavian countries rather than LA, but it's very much similar to what it was, right?
Yeah.
Just a geographical
sure.
location. It's still about fun and partying and having a good time and not this so seriousness, if that makes sense.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
I think it's about to not take yourself too serious.
So
Or
I
not
think,
take
in
yourself
order,
serious at all.
Exactly.
so I think, and I hate to, to use this quote, but the famous prophet Bret Michaels, it's nothing but a good time, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Pretty much.
Pretty much like that, yeah.
Man,
And
we
that
just want to.
that song was a life changer
rock and
for
roll.
me. Yeah. Nothing But a Good Time was a game changer for me as a kid. I was in like grade 7 when that came out. No, maybe, yeah, grade 7, somewhere around there.
Mhm.
And I just couldn't fucking believe that record. Love on the Rocks to open it up, and I was just like, wow,
Yep.
this is crazy.
So, go ahead.
So, like, what made you? Because, like, in 2002, like you say, the scene's dead, right? Like, there's no sleaze, there's no glam, and you guys decide, hey, we're gonna do this. What? How did that come about? Like, how do you go from? Because, like, what was going on in like 2001, 2002 was like new metal,
Yeah.
and Nickelback and stuff like that. So, how do you go from looking at that and saying, you know what, fuck this, we're just gonna make kick ass rock and roll?
We had a lot of, like, we call it cap rock, like the helicopters. They always wear a cap. I like helicopters. So, but there was a tons of those bands around that time, and we just figured, let's go all in,
Yeah.
tease our hair as big as it can be.
Yes.
And we had a lot of like stuff on stage right from the beginning, like small like party, what do you call it?
Pyrotechnics.
No, not pyrotechnics, like party bombs.
So like streamers and stuff.
Yeah, and smoke machines, and it was just a mess on stage. But people
But you
paid
knew you were at a
attention.
show, right? You
What?
knew you were at a show and you were having a good time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we didn't sound that good back then. We sounded like shit, but we put on a pretty crazy show, I guess. So people started following us all around Sweden.
Right.
That's pretty cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it takes a lot of courage to do that when no one else is doing it. It's not
Yeah.
like, like, because, and I don't mean this in any different way, but glam metal and sleaze rock became like a punching bag in around that era, in the early 2000s with like Beavis and
Yeah.
Butthead and like.
Well, was it like a fucking like glam band epidemic in the end of the 90s? Like it was too many of those like glam bands.
Yeah.
That's what is like that's the reason why they died out. Like
Yeah.
I
I mean,
always said, like,
there's too many bands.
Nirvana didn't kill glam. It was bands like Nitro,
Yeah, exactly what I'm talking
that
about.
really took it too far. It's like, now it's not good anymore.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. You know what I mean? Like glam kind of killed
Isn't
glam.
that like Jim Gillette, the singer?
Yeah. He could sing high, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's the only thing he could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a funny record. We listen to it all the time when we're on tour.
Just to annoy each other?
Nitro.
Nitro.
Nice.
Fantastic.
I mean,
So
I
what are you
agree.
on-
I agree.
Oh,
It
go ahead.
became a parody of itself for sure. And that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I mean, I guess getting to my point, I'm really excited that the scene is building and there are lots of quality bands that are not parodies still doing this music or now doing it
Mhm.
again.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Of course, especially I guess in Scandinavia.
Yeah.
Like it is. Oh, we got like great bands like the Cruel Intentions, and we got like Hardcore Superstar that's been around for a very long time. Crazy Licks, all those bands,
Right.
like great bands. Heat, it's maybe not like the Sleeves, but it's like in the same, almost in the same shape, like
Yeah.
musically.
So now that
So yeah.
so now that
But
Automaton,
I think
Right,
like the thing that we're doing is like it's getting just like bigger and bigger. I think people
Yes.
get more interested in
Well, you
This
gained
kind
a
of
new
music,
fan
yeah.
in me today. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I'd never heard of this
Of
band before
course we
today.
did.
See, that's glam rock right there.
yes.
But like I had never heard of the band until today, and now it's like everything's added to my playlists everywhere.
Great.
Get on
great.
there.
So
Thumbs
now,
up.
now that Automaton, I guess, now that it's complete, and how do you feel about it? And is it everything you thought it would be? And are you satisfied with the outcome?
With the album, or
Yeah.
Mm.
yeah, I think so. It's like I think this album is more like the direction that we wanted to go. If you compare this to Rust, where it was that was my like what do you say, like debut as a singer.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is like I think that album was more of a I don't know how you feel, Martin, but it feel like that we were a bit like spread out when it comes to which like type of how we
Yeah.
wanted to sound. And I think this album really like shows like the best of us all, I guess.
I think we were like trying out all kinds of stuff on the last album.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
with you as a new singer, we didn't know like what
How do you want
type
to
of
sound?
songs that fit your range and whatever.
Yeah.
Now we
Yeah.
now we kind of nailed it on the new album. It's like
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's been the response to, or at least the single so far? Together, whatever, right? Is the single? What's been the response so far?
It's been
I think there's only like,
overwhelming me.
Yeah.
Good. Like I've read like one negative comment.
That's
Wow. Well, are you guys getting radio play over there?
I hope so.
What does a CrashDiet audience look like? Because I imagine there's a bunch of people like me who are sort of nostalgic for the older scene and still like that. But I imagine there's a lot of newer people or people like me bringing their kids to the scene, right? So it's multiple generations as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
And
that's
now we haven't played a tour in like 3 years. So
Right.
we've grown up, you know.
Are you planning
I
on
guess
taking it on the road here?
Taking it
Planning on hitting the
to
road
the
again?
States?
Yeah. Or anywhere, really.
Yeah, we're going on a 4-week European tour
in May.
In May.
Oh, so
Actually.
almost there.
So
It's like 3 weeks.
That will be like our first headlining tour in a few years. That's, you know, so it's
Are you nervous?
Unreal.
Are you nervous about it?
No, not really.
What's it going to be like to finally get on the road again?
I won't believe it until I sit on that tour bus.
Right.
And
until my ass is on that tour bus and the drums are on the stage. Sound check is over and the doors are open and the first chord is strummed, right?
I mean, we've been postponing tours for forever now, so it's like. But we're pretty sure it's going to happen this time.
What about the festivals? Are you doing any festivals this year?
A few.
Like 2 or 3.
Or 4. I don't remember.
I don't either.
Mostly European festivals. Yeah.
Are you planning on heading over to the States at all? That's not in the card yet.
Well, we've been
Of course
there.
we want to, but there's no plan yet, I guess. But
not
it
for
will come
this year.
sure, I hope so.
I guess it's for the upcoming years. Because we've been there
Right.
like four times, I think, before, and we really like it there. So, of course, we must come to the States.
Yes. What was it like trying to release, or actually not trying, but releasing a record and singles and recording and all this stuff during the nonsense that we've all been through in the last, I don't know, 2-3 years, whatever it's been?
We didn't do much. We kind of like, we didn't even, we wrote songs mostly and kept it to ourselves. We just released one single during the pandemic.
We did.
It's about, yeah,
yeah.
No Man's Land. You already forgot about that one.
I remember now.
And we didn't even do a music video for it because we didn't know why. If it's going to be a waste of money or not. So, but when we released the Together Whatever video, it felt like the right time to do something
Great video.
great, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chris,
Okay, I don't have anything else. Bruce, do you?
thank you, my friends, for
Perfect.
taking the time. Good luck with the record and the tour.
Ever wonder what a punch from Elton John feels like?
Or how you'd cope with having turned down the chance to be in Nirvana?
Or what signal Keith Richards gives when he wants you to get the hell out of his hotel room?
Fans of Too Much Effing Perspective don't have to wonder, because they've heard these exact stories and a jillion others on our podcast. I'm Alex Hoffman, former tour manager for Radiohead.
And I'm musician and comedy writer Alan Keller. On the TMEP show, we get guests like Nancy Wilson from Heart, Jeremiah Freites from the Lumineers, and Modern Family's Julie Bowen to tell us things they may have only shared with their therapist, clergy, or a TMZ stringer.
So join us on Too Much Effing Perspective. That's EFFING Perspective. The only podcast you crank up to 11.